So, if you're in position to hire a nanny who can change them and take them to school or do their early teaching and all that kind of stuff, hey, if it works for you, it works for you.
It worked for you. It's just poor people don't have that luxury.
Poor people just don't have that luxury. So it just sounds foreign.
Yeah.
You don't do diapers. Yeah, because I got money.
Daddy, where's Mommy?
Welcome back, parents. Deep breaths.
We know you've had a day.
Because we had one too. But welcome to another episode of Let Me Tell You Why I Hate My Kids, the only parenting podcast that lets you know that you're not crazy.
Your kids are.
And they definitely are.
All the time.
This is your boy Charles and Kenny.
What's up?
Bringing you parenting advice that you didn't even know you needed. So we're glad that you're here. Stick around a little while. We got a great show for you today. A lot of wisdom and a lot of knowledge coming between these two guys here.
So listen up.
Listen up.
Because you'll leave here a different person.
Yes, you'll treat your kids a little different after listening to us.
Yeah.
But we're going to get right into it like we always do. We go to our top five. Top five this week will be top 5 lies your kids tell. The top 5 lies that your kids tell. What do you think one of them may be?
The number one lie gotta be, I don't know.
Ooh, that was a good one. That was not one.
That's
of
not
them.
on it, man. I swear that gotta be the number.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I don't know.
That's not on us.
Every kid that said I don't know, knowing full well they know.
Definitely every kid has said I don't know. I don't know why that didn't make the list. I don't know why that didn't make the list. What's another one?
What's another one? I didn't do it.
I didn't do it is number one. Number one, I didn't do it.
Yeah.
That's definitely the number one answer.
Yep.
What we got? What else we got?
I would assume it wasn't me as the same as I didn't do it.
Yeah, that was about the same.
Yes, I did my homework.
Oh, you got that one. That came at number 3.
Number 3, yes, I did my homework.
Yes. They say I don't have homework.
I don't have. Well, yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have homework. Okay.
My kids tell me that constantly.
Man,
every day I don't have homework.
And it gets to a point after 3 weeks, I start asking questions like, "So what are y'all doing if you never have homework?"
Never.
So they could be lying the whole 3 weeks, and I'm finally catching on.
Crazy.
Okay. It wasn't me, or I didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have homework.
Yep. Morning routine.
I did brush my teeth.
Yes.
Yeah,
I brushed my teeth. Breath be straight from the fire.
It smelled like the 2 days of Pop-Tarts.
Oh, snap. So we got,
teeth.
I didn't do it. I brushed my teeth. I don't have homework. We got 2 more.
2 more. I don't know how that got there.
No, that didn't make it. These last 2 got to probably do with, well, if I say it,
I think it's one, and I think that's more so if your kids have siblings and they like hit each other. Like, I guess I didn't do it. I guess I'll fall into the same gap.
This would do with, I would say, chores that your kids would probably be responsible for.
Like washing dishes, sweeping the floor. Like I did do it, but they actually didn't do it.
Probably.
Oh.
Not really washing dishes and stuff.
Oh, just like asking if your room is clean.
There you go.
Yeah, I clean my room.
I clean my room is number 4.
And yeah, and sometimes it's just simply their definition of clean is different than my definition of clean.
Yes.
Like, you can't just push everything under the bed.
I go in my kids' room. I like, did you clean? I have to tell my kids, I don't want nothing on the floor.
You got to give a line by line item. Like, did you do this?
Clean
did you do
your
that?
room, please. And then I have to go back and reiterate, I don't want nothing on the floor.
And
if there's something on the floor, it's not clean.
And to give you a little hope, as I got kids a little older, it don't get better. It doesn't get better.
I be like, bro, right when I walk in there, I preference, before I walk down the hall, have you cleaned your room?
Clean your room. To give a chance to run off and put
come down the hallway. Why is this on the floor?
I thought you said you cleaned your room.
They run it to pick it up.
Like by now, you know what my definition of clean is, but
like, I don't want nothing on the floor.
it don't get better. As a matter of fact, it probably leads to you becoming an alcoholic because it don't get better. You're like, I know we've talked about this. Why are you still leaving shirts and laundry on the floor?
I got a bottle of gin in the cabinet.
Or reliable. Okay.
Or reliable. So we got, I didn't do it. I brushed my teeth. I don't have homework. I cleaned my room. Last one has to do with.
I don't know whose dog this is. Bring her home pets and stuff.
No pets. This would have to do with. I don't know.
You don't want to give it away. Is that obvious? Dang. Okay.
This has to do with. How would I say you? Are you repeating yourself? That's
It's like, yes, I heard you.
Yes, that's number 5. I didn't hear you.
I didn't hear you. Yeah.
So that rounds out the top 5. I didn't hear you was number 5. So
that's another one of those having older kids. It makes your brain melt because then you break down. We were the only 2 in the room.
I heard myself.
You was looking at me. You was looking right at me.
Yeah.
How you say you didn't hear me say whatever it is that you didn't do that I told you to do. Yeah,
it's beyond me because I heard myself say what you needed to do.
That's one of those where you count down how many more years before it's time for you to get out the house. How old are you? Gosh.
I have to remind yourself I only got
4 more years. With
Let's
a couple.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Yeah, but that was a cool one. Yeah,
nice top 5.
And it's funny that all kids tell the same lies.
Yeah, I see that when I'm on TikTok, and I see that we all have the same problems. We all in this thing together.
And speaking of TikTok, hey, don't forget to follow us on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We love the engagement. If you guys have any ideas for top 5, you want to share your stories or join our Facebook group, because I don't believe in the last episode we plugged our pages, so I'm making up for it now. Yeah. The first 5 minutes of the episode.
Yes.
Make sure you following us, help us grow, so we can share more of our stories, share more of your stories, and prop up this support group. Because that's what we are. We're a support group at the end of the day.
That's all it is. And on that same topic of trending and TikToks and virals and all that, something that was in the news this week was Nelly and
Ashanti.
My baby Ashanti.
Yo, baby. Oh, baby. She made that song? Oh, baby.
I think that was her.
Ride with me. Yeah. Want to take this? Okay,
But yeah, Nelly was on record saying he's famous, he's rich, he doesn't want to do the diapers, changing the diapers. And he can just basically hire somebody to do that and get the help off you, so you don't have the stress over it. How you feel about that?
I mean, if you got the luxury to do that, I don't think that makes you less of a parent because you didn't change diapers. I mean, I think that's just something poor people have to do.
Did you change diapers?
I changed diapers.
Would you say you changed more than your
No,
wife's?
definitely not.
Okay.
It'll be times I'm holding the baby, say it pooped, and I pass him off or her off or whatever.
Okay. Were you the one to get up in the middle of the night to change?
She mostly did that too. Okay. Now I would help. You know, I supported. Or I gave conversation so she wasn't up alone. But she definitely changed more diapers than me. She definitely was the one who was up at mostly. I would go in there, you know, and rock them back to sleep or whatever. But as far as feeding and diapers and stuff, she definitely did more of that. Okay. I supported in other ways, you know, non-diaper changing ways and non-feeding ways, like. Make sure we still had a house. So I just supported other ways.
That's what we're here for.
And so in Nelly's case, I mean, and at least it sounded like it looked like they've had this conversation before. So at least, hey,
this was just on camera.
He set the expectations. Like, I don't do diapers. Now, I can hire somebody all day. We wealthy enough to where I can hire you all the nannies you want, you know. And that's just where he at. You
I
know,
think his quote was, "When the kid can say I'm hungry, that's when
he can. That's when I
can
can SpaghettiOs. You know, I can put some SpaghettiOs on a pot or a hot pocket.
I remember my first experience to change the diaper. I actually recorded the first time I actually changed the diaper because I was so excited, like, to change the diaper thing.
And you should use that to later embarrass them.
The first time I changed the diaper, didn't obviously know what I was doing, how to put the snaps or whatever. But I liked it. Now, does a man or does a parent have to do that? I don't think they have to do that.
Well,
I feel like I heard a podcast say that you get a little closer, you get bonding time with kind of thing.
You get peed on. That's what you get. Well, if you have a boy, because it shoots. I got peed on once, and
I never got peed on.
He almost got spiked.
But I got girls. I have had it where you open it and just just float everywhere, all up the
back. Yeah.
It's just everywhere. I do not like those.
Again, that's just something poor people have to do. So he's just removing himself from that. Yeah, and I don't blame him. He got the money to pay somebody.
I'm with you. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
It's just like, it's like hiring a chef to me. Like, okay, if I have the resources for somebody to cook for me, and that's something that I or my wife don't have to do, why not? Why not? That doesn't. I'm not less of a foodie, or I'm not less of a whatever. Okay. I just got somebody to cook for me. Got somebody to do so that. You know, if you're in position to hire a nanny who can change them and take them to school or do their early teaching and all that kind of stuff, hey, if it works for you, it worked for you.
It worked for you. It's just poor people don't have that luxury.
Poor people just don't have that luxury. So it just sounds foreign. Yeah. You don't do diapers. Yeah, because I got money. I just think that's what that is. It's like, it's foreign to us. Like, we at least had to help every now and then. You know, we had that luxury. Like,
I thought I was rich one time because I got the little the bottle maker thing.
Yeah.
Where it automatically make the bottle and all that stuff. And it was like I don't know what it was. It was like a Keurig machine or whatever.
Yeah, it puts the formula in and all that.
And it do all that for you. And I thought I was rich doing that, and that was like a game changer.
Right.
But I understand how the rich people think now. When
rich
tell Soo Young to come over here and change his diaper.
Rich people outsource as much as possible. It just take that outside a lawn. If you can hire a lawn guy, you hire a lawn guy. If you got a maid, a house cleaner, or whatever, you hire somebody to clean your house. True. If you have the ability to, you outsource as much as possible. True. You know. So.
I'm with you. You're right.
They say rich people pay for time, while poor people have time as currency. So. It's like we do these things because we ain't got no other currencies except our time, you know.
There you go. You wouldn't get that information if
other
you wasn't here on Let Me Tell You Why I Hate My Kids.
And, you know, I can answer this because secretly I'm rich, so.
There you go.
Life has afforded me so.
And I'm on the other side of the property line.
I'm excited about a bottle Keurig.
I can answer from the poor side because I am definitely hanging on to my own poverty.
Hanging on to the
own trash can.
I kid. I kid.
I am just filthy rich. That's all. I'm a humble.
I'm not
rich.
Just rich. I'm filthy. I haven't seen a diaper. So.
I haven't seen my kids at
I'm about to say, I didn't meet my kids till they were 5. I had the nannies do all that.
Okay.
No, but yeah, so yeah, it was definitely an interesting conversation. And I think moms are just more inclined to be knee deep and elbows deep and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Dads are kind of like, because even in the olden days, even before, like, we go back to our grandparents' generation or the great grandparents' generation, the men folk really didn't mingle with the kids like that.
And even I'm watching the Discovery Channel all the time, and the lions
out there in the wild
don't do nothing. The male lions literally don't do nothing but protect.
The male lion don't hunt.
The
male lion don't tend to the cubs.
The mom does everything. Right. I'm not here for that.
I'm not here. I'm gonna make sure y'all safe. That's what I'm here for. Other than that, you got it. Right. You got it.
So what do you expect? If the king of the jungle don't do, the king of the jungle don't do it. And you call me king in the bed, so what's what are we talking about? I'm not supposed to do nothing. I'm supposed to lay here and just protect the household.
That reminds me of a skit on Chappelle's show. Him and his girl, the girl in the skit, was arguing, and the baby started crying. He just said, "It's crying, it's crying." I said, "Go tend to the baby." Go.
I didn't see that episode.
You gotta go.
It's crying.
It's crying. It's crying.
Okay. All right. Well, that was the trending topic. As we move on to our weekly recap.
Yeah.
I guess I'll start. My week is. Summertime has been really good to me.
Summertime been easy.
I think the only time that it get hard is when they go to school, and my youngest is acting up, and I have to deal with how to deal with her. But outside of school, it's just been a breeze. I was with my kids all week, pretty much. I spent $31 a day at McDonald's, which really made me mad. But that's a whole nother topic. But no, we've been good. Crazy thing is today, from both of my kids, I'll start with my youngest, riding on McDonald's to get them something to eat. I say, well, we in July, y'all got one more month of freedom. Youngest one bursts out, I can't wait to get back to school. First thing that comes to my mind is, Negro.
I know you lie.
I know you lie. I know you lie because, bruh, you better, and it took me forever because I'm trying to work on just bonding, just having a conversation with my kids and not trying to correct them on every little teeny thing. So it took everything in my blood to not say, you better be better, you better be good in school this year.
Already started.
Yeah, already started. I'm like, you know what, don't say that.
Already started fussing.
I act like I didn't hear it like on the lives. I didn't hear it and I just kept the conversation going. But that was from her. We got back to the house. I was in the middle of working. I walked in on my oldest one. She has a cell phone. Well, it's not her cell phone. It's my dad's old cell phone.
Yeah.
But it's still active. I walk up on her, and as I'm walking on her, I can see the screen.
Yeah.
And I said, "What you doing?" She clicks out the screen and says, "Nothing. Looking at my picture."
Lie.
And this is the favorite.
Right. This is the alleged good one.
Yes, and it made me go, wow. She lies to me too. Like, and it kind of hurt me.
And it comes so quick.
Yes.
It's so quick.
And it's like, your reflexes are so slow and so obvious. I don't know how you're going to get a lie past me when you're a teenager.
Right.
But the way she clicked off the screen and was just looking at this picture that was on the screen, oh, nothing, just looking at my picture. So I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh, so you just been looking at a picture on the screen, just sitting there by yourself, just looking at the picture. So I'm trying to figure out what was she actually doing. I haven't went back and actually look. I need to go back and do that, but when I get home. But it's crazy that my oldest lies to me like that. They don't respect me.
Bruh, again, being a parent of older kids, it don't get better.
It hurt me, man. It hurt me.
I walk in my kids' rooms, man, especially the older two. You know, the older two be isolated in their own little room or whatever. And in the bed on the covers with their phone this close, to their face. You bust in on, what you doing? Nothing. What do you, what do you, right now, so we have Netflix, right? And we have individual accounts. My account is locked. The account me and my wife use is locked for whatever we watch.
You can lock it?
Yeah. You got to enter in a passcode or whatever to open up and click on it.
Okay.
Mostly, I don't want them messing up my algorithm. But even still, just seeing stuff that's too mature for them. So we set the settings or the ratings or whatever for their profiles. So my son's profile keeps, we had it at PG-13 and below, I think it is. But his profile keeps getting changed to mature and below. basically opening up everything. So we trying to figure out how's this doing, because you got to put in the password, the PIN code or whatever to even do it. And I don't think you can do it from the app on the TV. You got to do it on the website. So how does his profile keep changing? But mysteriously, my daughter, she watches his profile. So it's like, so is he doing it or is she doing it? So based on history, we're more inclined to believe she's doing it. Based on history, like you setting him up, right? Like that's messed up. Like you setting him up.
It's crazy how you know your kids.
Yeah,
you know how you put those narratives on your kids.
Right. So it's like, okay, so but we just haven't caught anybody in the act, or at least like to immediately bust them. So that's what we're working on right now.
I hear you.
How we gonna get to the bottom of this and put the blame on the appropriate party?
Yes, that's the same with my kids. Quick with the YouTube thing.
Yeah,
they find a way always to get on the YouTube, and I'm like, how do they keep getting on there? But yeah, I blame it on the youngest.
Right, and so over the summer, as I've explained before, I have. My son, the first half of the summer, he goes to his mom the second half of the summer. So we're now in the second half of the summer. So if his profile changes again, we'll know who it is. Okay. Process of elimination. Because over at his mom, he have his own YouTube account, all this kind of stuff. So he won't be able to access the profile from, he won't be using the profile over there. So if it changes again, it's the daughter. We know exactly who it is, and we can act accordingly.
We can discipline accordingly.
But so
she gonna hit you with that. I didn't do it. No, well,
it wasn't me. No, you gotta put nobody else is here. Adonis not here.
Oh,
so yeah, that's what we working on.
It's crazy the little games you play in parenting.
Like you have to.
Keep it exciting.
Yeah, keep it exciting. Like keep you on your toes for real. Like I
enjoy the game.
It would be boring if you had perfectly behaved children. It would be boring. It would give you and your mate nothing to talk about.
The fact that you setting her up and she don't know, you just sitting there watching.
You just watching. Soon as that alert comes, boom, red team go.
I just get the visual of you outside. In the car with the windows half down, you just sitting there waiting.
Just waiting. So as soon as that little notification, and I don't think they know or she know, we think it's her. I don't think she know we get notifications for stuff like that. Obviously, she don't know that. So once that notification come in about a week or so, we gonna know exactly what time it is. Because there's no other way this rating should be changing on this profile. Yep. So that's what we currently working on right now.
Gonna mess around and gonna find out 3-4 weeks later that it was Trey.
Right. That's gonna be what? That's what it's going.
They playing you.
Right. You think you playing he in the living room, he and the other one getting chewed out. He just in the like, oh snap.
That's usually how it be, man.
Oh, that would be freaking hilarious. It's been Trey the whole time.
You'll never know, bro.
You'll never know.
But I like the little games you play within parenting to keep you on your toes, to keep things fresh.
Right. Just
to discipline your kids.
Keep you on your toes, and then constantly prove you're not smarter than me.
That's the thing.
You constantly got to prove you're not smarter than me.
I found out today when I took my kids, the little joys of being a parent is when they ask you something and you know the answer.
Right.
I found that out today when my kid asked me, what does auto mean? Because I had the little, the windshield thing. The windshield was going on and she saw the 1, 2, 3 in auto. So I'm like, when you answer it, you're like, I just taught my kids something. I don't know how big those little things are with me in parenting.
Out of that story when she said, what does auto mean? I was like, oh, you know how to read auto? Look at you knowing complicated. Auto, not just something you just. Oh, look at you can read.
Look at you. When you learn that?
I was been impressed at the auto.
Oh snap!
Speaking of Trey, like he be reading stuff or whatever. He'll read stuff. I said, well, look at the big brain on Trey. I just said that the other day. Yeah. He read. I forget what word he read. But he was reading something. I said, well, look at you.
I found out that my kids learn more when they're around other kids, which I try to
Osmosis.
keep them away. Because they be coming back, the stuff they be saying slick out their mouth.
Yeah, that'd be that stuff like, hold on, who you hanging out with?
Yeah, but
it's time for y'all to be isolated. Y'all better be homeschooled.
Yeah.
But then you grow to be weird and have no social skills.
This is true.
But yeah, man, that's if it turned out to be Trey, we gonna open the next episode. Like, let me tell you why.
I can't wait to find out who it was. I hope it is the girl. I want to hear that story.
Yeah, so that's the cat and mouse game we playing right now. So we checking out alerts to see when the profile changes happen. Because what end up raising suspicion, she was watching Squid Games, which has a mature rate, or at least a rating above PG-13. So she was watching Squid Games. Like, well, how are you able to watch that? What profile you on? Because my first thought was she figured out the PIN code to access my account. Because sometimes you do it on TV and you hope they ain't paying attention.
But they be paying.
They be paying attention, right?
Paying attention.
So I was like, oh, what profile you under? Because A, I don't want you to mess up my algorithm.
Right.
And B, why you sneaking on my profile? But then when she pulled it up and it was Adonis profile, you shouldn't be able to watch that on there. So that made us go on the site or whatever to see what the settings were. That's how twice it's been changed. That's how we discovered twice it's been changed.
I'm excited about that.
So I'll let you know. I'm gonna let you know.
All right. We appreciate y'all for staying this far with us. Let me tell you why I hate my kids as we move on to the next segment that we got here. We got question of the week. We put our question of the week out on our Facebook page and our Instagram, so make sure y'all stay looking out for that. Yes. So your questions or your answers, your responses can be in our podcast for 21 people to see. But the question of the week was, what's the most ridiculous reason your kid has had a full-blown meltdown?
That's crazy.
First response is, she cried because I cut her sandwiches exactly the way she asked. I think you had a story about that one time.
Yeah, my youngest, Torrance, is real particular. He's almost like have OCD.
Cut that. We're going to cut that.
Okay.
I write the wrong one.
Okay. Reintro.
Oh, I did. What did I do? Oh, that was the first question. The question of the week was, what's something your kid has said that was a full-blown, or what was something your kid said with full confidence that was 100% wrong? Oh, that's what it was.
Okay.
Because the sandwiches thing, I think we already talked about.
Yeah, we did. Okay. When you said that, I was like,
yeah. So yeah,
okay.
That's why I was like, I don't want to do that because we already did. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for staying with us this far on Let Me Tell You Why I Hate My Kids. We appreciate you staying on with us. If you are still here, make sure you like, subscribe, and do all that good stuff. Share the video if you're on Facebook.
Share it with the masses.
But we are on Question of the Week. We ask our Question of the Week at the beginning of the week, and we ask our viewers to respond to the Question of the Week. You can respond, and your responses will be in our podcast for 21 people to see.
Yep.
But this week's question of the week was, what's something your kid said with full confidence that was 100% wrong? First one is, my daughter said dinosaurs died because they didn't wear jackets in the cold.
Got it. That sounds about right.
That sounds about right.
That's just as plausible as an asteroid hitting the Earth.
It is. Yeah, it definitely is. All right. My 5-year-old told me babies come from hospital vending machines. I don't know.
Is this something you saw? Like what?
Who told you that?
Who told you
Billy at recess said that.
Yeah. And he's a second grader. So
and he's a second grader. So yeah. They have access to different levels of information, so they have to be right. All right. Third one is, my son said clouds are just sky pillows God throws around.
I mean, imaginative.
That sounds like they heard that in Bible study.
Yeah.
Somebody don't need to be teaching the kids.
I need somebody to stick the doctrine. What does
I needed somebody to stick the what thus saith the Lord.
What does the Bible say? Do not deceive what is written. I think Paul said that. Told to see you was
I
written.
need to talk to one of these Sunday school teachers because clearly my son or my daughter.
Who in charge of the curriculum? Because I'm not sure. I'm not sure what y'all.
That's a little too much. Okay. Next one is my daughter said adults don't need naps because they are already old and tired forever.
That probably right. I am tired a lot. I am tired. I would love a nap.
Tired a lot.
I would love a nap.
You don't know how naps hit these
And for
days.
some reason, I can never find the space or time to take a nap.
Naps do wonders, bro. All right, two more. My kid said we have to be nice to bugs because they might have little families too.
Depend on the bug.
A cockroach.
Cockroach, I don't care about that film.
That thing getting, Spanish.
Matter of fact, your death should tell them to stay away from here.
Yes.
So
if I do see a roach, I usually leave the roach there after I killed it to remind them
to remind what's going to happen. This is what go down here.
This what's go down here.
Hey, you want to be like Ricky? That's what
Ricky. All right. Last one is my son told his teacher I'm 94 years old. I'm actually 37.
Kids have no concept of
how
age
old
or whatever.
It's ridiculous, and it's like, do you even know me?
Do you even know me? How many birthdays have you shared with me to tell your teacher I'm not? That's like my son Trey. He once told his teacher I got shot, and and so he was still in daycare at the time. Someone to go pick him up, and the teacher was like, "So he's telling me that you got shot." You know, she's whispered. He's telling me you got, and I'm like, I got shot? I don't know. What are you talking about? Well, what ended up happening was I got a shot.
I
got a shot. And I came and took, because I had the Band-Aid or whatever. And he's like, what? I got a shot. So he tell the teacher, my daddy got shot, and crying about it in school or daycare or whatever. At first, when she said it, I'm confused. I'm like, why would he ever tell a story like that? What was he watching? Like, what in the world? And then one day, it just dawned on me. I got a shot. So they just be loud and wrong.
Loud and wrong. That's crazy. But that was question of the week. Make sure you obviously look out for question of the week so that your questions or your responses can be in our podcast, so we can read them and laugh about them and talk about you and your kids.
Talk about you and your kids.
Yes.
That's the fun.
That is the fun.
It makes us feel like we're not such bad people.
Right. That's basically what it does. It just gives us a little bit of joy. But as we move on to story time, that Kenny has a story for us, we just want to continue to thank you for being here with us.
Thank you.
We're not alone.
We're not alone. Now, it's a short story. But this is from older parents, so their kids are already adults and stuff like that. So they just basically said, thinking of having kids, my son poured syrup in the floor vent. 13 years later, it still smells like waffles every time the heat comes on.
Wow.
What do you even do when you discover
that?
Like, why do they have the syrup? Like, it's so many layers to it. Like, why did they get the syrup? Or did you see them with the syrup? Did you watch them as he poured it down the vent? Now, you have the lovely smell of syrup, I guess, in the wintertime when you turn on the heat. But it's so many questions.
That's like the same thing I ask with my kids when they're on their tablets. It's the things where they could sit down at a table or a chair, even on the floor, and watch their tablets. But they choose to watch it upside down or on the third step of on the stairs. I'm like, I looked out my door and my youngest is just sitting on the steps on the stairwell, just sitting there watching her tablet. I'm like, there's so many other places that you can sit down and watch. We have chairs. We're not that far in the apartment. Like, we have things that they can sit on.
You have a bed, couch.
And just stuff like that just, why?
And
kid logic.
What made you think this was a good idea? Pouring syrup down the floor vent?
I don't know, man. I blame it on YouTube.
What clicked that said, ooh, this would be fun?
I blame it on YouTube.
What was the goal?
I don't know, because I can guarantee you that somebody on YouTube did it.
Probably. They probably did see somebody, or or a TV show or cartoon and aimed at kids, mischief and stuff, and they did it for themselves, and now you stuck with syrup in your vents, because you really not going in there to clean that out, like.
Right. I blame I blame YouTube a lot on why my youngest is so bad, not my parenting habits.
Right. It's YouTube.
It's YouTube. It just can't be my parenting.
YouTube has infiltrated.
When you were talking about Netflix, my youngest watches Netflix, but I don't know. I think theirs is. I don't know what's mature and under, because they can watch like the high school shows. I don't know if that's mature and under, because I think the lowest one is just way too baby. Yeah. And I think the next one up is when they can start watching like the little high school kids, maybe in school or middle school. Yeah, and I think she correlates that with, oh, that's cool or something.
Yeah.
But she doesn't understand the whole storyline of she throwing paper in class and she gonna get in trouble and all that. But she thinks that's cool, and I'm like, bruh, this is fake.
The problem I have with those like high school drama shows or whatever, especially, and it seems like girls are more impressionable to them type shows than boys. Mm-hmm. But my daughter, for example, she was about 10, 11, 12ish in that range, watching these high school drama shows, and you set the ratings, but they may slip under the ratings or whatever. And if you really sit and pay attention as a parent, like they talking about some kind of mature stuff sometimes.
Yes.
Sneaking out the house and meeting up with boys or girls or whatever, and arguing with their parents and stuff like that, and get flip out the mouth. At one time, like, it was a Inside Palm People show, and they was being flip out the mouth of their mom, and I'm watching it, and I'm about to head upstairs, and I stopped to peek or whatever. And my passing comment was, these white kids say anything to their parents, and that's, and not saying black kids aren't disrespectful. It's just I guess a different level of disrespect, I guess, that go around. Mm-hmm. But that's impressionable to your younger kid, mm-hmm. and then they start emulating that stuff, and you look at them like, where you get this from? And you got to keep your composure to not flip out on them.
Yes, because mine have it where they say the little slick things back to one another.
Yeah, it starts there.
Yeah, it starts there. So they be saying the little, you big back or something like that back to each other. Then they won't disrespect mama or daddy like that. But when I hear them talking to each other, I'm like, wait, whoa.
Right.
That's a little bit too much.
I do the same thing.
That's a little, you're not grown. And that's why I be like, where are you getting this stuff from? And then it's like, if I dumb down Netflix, dumb down everything, and you just listen to A, B, C, like, I don't know, like, I want them to have a little bit of that, but it's like it's too much. Because my youngest is actually, when I walk in on her watching Netflix, she is like,
glued to it.
She don't know I'm in the room.
Right.
She's glued to it. So I know she's learning and focusing and just doing all these things in her head of how she can act up and be in class. And I'm like, first you need to realize this is fake. This is not real.
Right.
But that hasn't helped at all.
Similar to that, my youngest boys are now into like wrestling. They watch WWE. Mm-hmm. They go on, I think they library or whatever's on Peacock, I think. So they go on Peacock, watch all the past shows, the past pay-per-views, all this kind of stuff. They like Cody Rhodes, John Cena, Roman Reigns, and a couple other people, whatever. So it's gotten to a point where, they're 7 and my youngest, he'll be 6 in a few days. Mm-hmm. They 7 and 6 or whatever. It's gotten to a point where I'm like, maybe I need to start restricting them on how much wrestling they watch, because that's all they do now is wrestling, tussling, be pulling on each other, and the catchphrases these wrestlers have, some of them ain't kid friendly or whatever. Like Trey, because it's always Trey. Mm-hmm. Trey one day, give me a hell yeah.
It's a random time.
You can't say you can't say that, Trey. That's not a good thing to say. But so he said it once, and I was like, he don't know what he's saying or whatever. But then he kept saying it. Okay, Trey, that's enough.
Yes.
But then they put each other in wrestling moves, and now they flipping each other on the couch, and Torrance always the one who get hurt. He get bumped a little too hard. Now he crying and carrying on. So I'm like, if y'all can't keep your hands off each other, you won't be able to watch wrestling no more. Like, I'm tired of the wrestling, the constant tussling. Somebody get bumped or kicked or whatever in the nose and start crying. So it's like similar to Netflix. You know, you're trying to monitor what they watching, what they taking in. You don't want to baby them too much with too much of it, because you know I can get that. That's some of that stuff be real lame, but gauging their maturity level too, to what can they handle, and what they're beyond. That's the tricky part.
Yeah, and mine is like you say, the wrestling thing. I noticed like when I'm riding around with them and in the back seat, songs come on.
Yeah.
And mature songs come on where they're talking about sexual things or whatever.
They getting exposed to music I don't listen to.
I'm always listening to old school music or something like that. But when we listen to the radio, they singing the songs like Usher, Baby, or something like that. I'm like, and I have to constantly tell my youngest, because she's always the one singing or whatever, do you understand what he's saying? Do you know what he's talking about? Mm-hmm. No. Well, then don't talk about it. No, if you don't understand what he's saying, my thing is don't sing it, don't say it. And that comes with words, songs, or anything. Like, that's my biggest thing. If you don't know what it means, don't say it. I think they have something where they were like, well, as for example, the big back thing. Yeah. I said, do you know what big back mean? No, they just heard somebody say it, and I guess they done use it in a cool way or something. Yeah. So now they call each other big back or something. So I'm like, you don't even know what it means, but you constantly saying it. Like, don't say something if you don't know what it means. I think, and my parents and my kids are so good. Like, if they know what it means, they won't use it. But that's not obvious. They probably use it more if they actually know what it means. Oh.
but my daughter, I had the same conversation with my daughter. She's big into K-pop, like Korean music or whatever. And I mean, she knows the groups, and got posters in her room and stuff like that. But I'm like, listen to the musical. I'm like, do you even know what they're saying? Well, no, because you don't speak Korean. Mm-hmm. So how can you listen to this and you don't even know what they're saying? And she was like, I know some stuff like what? Because they could be saying anything. And you around here bopping to it or whatever, and they called you a gorilla or something. Yeah. And I'm like, this makes no sense. Why are you so into this? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. You don't know what they're saying.
It makes you mad.
And she's like, some of it in English, but like they'll have like a hook or chorus in English or whatever. But the verses are all Korean.
These kids stupid, man.
They're stupid. They just dumb.
They just dumb. They don't know. You have to tell them exactly how to live this life.
Right. Like,
they will walk around stupid and dumb.
I mean, she'll watch, and most of the music they hearing is off TikTok and stuff. Mm-hmm. So, it's not even like they listening to the radio. But she'll watch reel after reel of K-pop people, and they just performing and music videos and some of this stuff. I ain't trying to be insensitive, I guess, because they're Korean.
He's racist.
But
Here,
no.
Let me tell you why my kids really not condone racism.
No, it's just they're Korean, but have the hood aesthetic.
Okay.
Like they the baggy clothes and
the racing thing.
The racing thing. What?
What is the racing movie?
Oh, like Fast and Furious and stuff like that.
All the people was a Korean, but they had the baggy clothes on. I remember when Bow Wow was on there.
Yeah, like they got the whole hood aesthetic, wearing do-rags and baggy clothes, and when they perform, they do the movements. And I just look at it like, stop! Like what? Stop! This is so cheesy. Plus, we don't know what they're saying, so it gets to a point where she don't watch 5 minutes. Man, find something else to watch, man. It's just pissing me off.
I'm with you there, bro.
It's just crazy. So these kids just be doing stuff. They just be doing stuff, and they don't know what they doing.
That just lets you know that you're not whipping your kids enough.
Probably not.
More of this whole episode is whip your kids.
Matter of fact, answer an honest question. Ask yourself, when the last time I spanked my kids?
When is the last time?
And if it's been longer than 2 days, it ain't enough.
Walk right up there to them, bust the door open, and say, why this room ain't clean?
They doing something whoop-worthy right now.
Yes.
Whoop-worthy.
Whoop-worthy. Definitely are.
Because if they on the phone, they going to shuffle that phone to the side. Whoop them. Just whoop them.
Yeah, because they hiding something from you.
They
think you're stupid.
They think you're stupid.
They think you're stupid and they hide something from you because they think they outsmarting you. When you was waiting for that the whole time.
They around here changing rating levels on Netflix.
Not knowing we get the
notification
every time it changes.
Stupid.
These kids stupid, man, and it's ridiculous these days.
It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous.
But we do appreciate you for staying with us all the way throughout. We think your family like us. I mean, we appreciate.
Man. Keep coming back.
And we promise to keep showing up.
Yeah, definitely.
Parents, don't forget that we up.
We up.
Don't let these kids get you down.
Nope.
And we'll see you next week.
We out.
Dad, where's Mommy?